And now, Focus on the Pines with your host, Jack Barnes.
Hi, I'm Jack Barnes, and welcome to Focus on the Pines, where we bring you news, views, and interesting people from in and around Ocean Pines. Today, we're over in Ocean City at the Clarion Hotel, where the Worcester County Commission for Women is having their history luncheon. They're going to recognize many of the artists. Their theme this year is Women in Art, and also have honored some students and some other local folks in the area. We're going to speak with some of these people and give you a little more of an idea of who's here today. Let's go. Well, we're here with Eloise Gordy. Did I get that right, Eloise? And Eloise is nominated and selected as the Woman of the Year for the History Luncheon, and she's here today and has agreed to spend a few minutes with us. Now, Eloise, that's quite an honor to be elected as Woman of the Year. And I understand that you were the former principal at Snow Hill High School. At Snow Hill Elementary, and it was a blue ribbon school. Yes. Congratulations, I know what that is. And tell us a little bit about what this award means to you, and a little bit else our viewers might be interested in.
Okay. I'm very honored and I'm humbled by this award. I was very surprised because it's something that you don't look for, so it's very unexpected. When Linda Skidmore called me, I was just getting over the flu, and I'm thinking, is this really happening to me? And throughout the weeks, I've seen the articles in the paper, and I'm thinking, they're talking about me. I'm not used to being the center of attention. I'm used to planning events for other people and making sure that they're comfortable and they're the center of attention. So this is something new for me, but it feels good.
And I notice, even though you're retired, You're not yet, but you're still involved with your church. You're involved with the Haven House Board of Directors, the YMCA, and the Board of Agape. You keep yourself pretty busy, Ellen.
I'm excited to be involved with the different organizations. The Haven House Board of Directors was an after-school program that Reverend George started in the Snow Hill community, so children would have some place to go after school. And then we, the Board of Ed, came with the money, and we started after-school program. But the Haven House has continued to exist. The Agape Project Incorporated is a nonprofit organization that helps single mothers who are trying to make a better life for themselves and their children. And I'm excited to be working with those powerful women who have a strong faith in God and encourage other people to continue to be the best that they can be.
Well, I understand why you have been successful as you are, and on behalf of a lot of the community, let me thank you for all the work you have done, and it sounds like you got a lot on your plate, and you're going to be continuing well into the future.
Yes. I do want to say, as a single mother, my daughter's 24 now, and I'm a 15-year breast cancer survivor, so I'm very grateful and thankful to still be here. So my goal is, if there's anyone I can help along this way as I travel and live this life, I will.
Well, that speaks well, and I hope some of the young people will take up some of that philosophy. It says a lot, and I think you're going to be around for a long time, Eloise. Eloise Gordy, Women of the Year, here at the Women's History Luncheon at the Clarion. Well, here at the Women's History Luncheon, we have 5 young ladies who are represented as the Women of Tomorrow. They're from 2 high schools, Snow Hill and Stephen Decatur, and I'd like to introduce them to you. On my immediate right is Diana Vogel from Snow Hill. And since you're first, Diana, tell us a little bit about the award and what it means to you.
This Women of Tomorrow award is when you're just kind of telling about yourself and how you help your community and how you want to help the community in the future.
That's great. And on your right is Claire Klingberg, is that correct? And Claire, you are also from?
Snow Hill Middle.
Snow Hill Middle. And do you know how this nomination process went? What did this mean to you?
I was very excited when I found out I won because I really like to help the community. And in the future, I really do want to help the community and be out there helping people. And this just meant a lot to me that I won. As I am in 7th grade, I just thought that was really cool. I was competing against high school kids, and I won in 2nd place.
Well, that's great, and congratulations. We had first place in...
Diana Vogel.
His first place was in the middle school?
Yes, this is the middle school.
And Claire, you were second place in the middle school?
Yes.
And next to you is Sarah Welch. And Sarah, what was your award?
I won the same award as everyone else, but I won second just like Claire. And I was very excited to win this award, too, because I've never won an award just like this. I think this is one of my best awards I've ever won.
Well, that's great, and you should be congratulated. What did the kids at school think when they found out?
They were happy for me because this is my best I've ever done before in my life.
Well, that's great, and continuing success to you as well.
Yes.
And let's see, next we go into Stephen Decatur High School to Megan Lawton. Boy, Megan, I'm working at this. It's hard, all these names. Congratulations, Megan. And you were second place winner in Stephen Decatur. And tell us a little bit about how that came about.
Well, I was nominated for my community involvement. I'm involved in several clubs, and also my newspaper advisor, Mary Berquist, nominated me because I'm chief editor of our school paper, so I work hard at that as well as in community service activities.
Well, that's great. And you are a senior?
Correct.
And what's your plans for the future?
Well, I'm interested in double majoring in education and social work and minoring in journalism.
It sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
I say so.
Well, we wish you well, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
And then next to you is Janet Rodriguez. And Janet, you were the first place winner. Congratulations. Tell us about that. You told me you were from Mexico, but you live in...
Berlin.
In Berlin. What did you think about this award?
I was so excited. I didn't thought that I was going to win it. And
Isn't that usually the case, though, for people that win an award? They often don't think that they're going to be the one selected.
Yeah, it was a surprise to me.
And your mom was here, and she seemed awfully excited, too. What did you do? You remember the first time you came home and you said, guess what?
Yeah, she was so excited. She couldn't believe it.
Well, that's great. What are your plans in the future? What year are you in?
In 12, I want to study radiology or respiratory therapist, something in the medical field.
Well, that's going to be a expanding area, and it's going to be one I think you'll be very successful in. Congratulations to you on your award.
Thank you.
And we want to congratulate all the winners. I think we're missing one young lady today, but it's nice to have the five of you here today, and it certainly says a lot for your character and what you do in the community, and we want to thank you again, and congratulations for being nominated by the Worcester County Women's Commission.
Thank you.
That's our prize winners. To the Dickerson family, and Esther Lee Dickerson was nominated and selected as the Woman of the Year, the Historical Woman of the Year, which she's deceased. She died in 2002, but we're fortunate to have her family and her husband here, and I have her daughter next to me who's going to help me out through these names, Jenny Scott. And Jenny, I'll start off, I guess, congratulating you for what your mom was selected for, which is quite an honor. And can you tell us a little bit about her?
She just gave her life to Girl Scouts. She thought it was a very worthwhile cause. No girl was excluded that wanted to be included, and sometimes she just roped them in and made them come and knew that it was the best for their interest in their family life and everything. And it gave her just such joy to do this for other people, and that is just really the heart and soul of our mother.
Now, your mom was from Snow Hill?
Yes. She was born and raised in Indiantown, just outside of Snow Hill on the family farm. And other than her trips, she never left Snow Hill.
Well, and she stayed with this fine gentleman on your right. Is that correct? And this is her husband?
Yes, this is my father, Thomas Dickerson.
Now, Mr. Dickerson, I will congratulate, but now you had to, I know, probably help out your wife in a lot of areas. Either that, you had to put up with all the things she wanted to do. What was it?
The largest thing we did was stay together for 54 years.
That can be difficult, can't it?
But all three of these trips, I drove all the way down to Acapulco, Mexico, with a worried automobile, 150,000 miles on it, rusting out, pulling a trailer. The next trip, the girls took 3 years in planning. The next trip, we went to California, camping, all the way to Sequoia National Forest and Grand Canyon and all the places.
Did you drive through the tree at the Sequoia Forest that you drive through?
No, you can't drive through.
Can't drive anymore.
Can't drive anymore. That was in 1971. The next group were planning for 3 years, but they didn't want to do either one of these things. This was 72, 70, 71 and 72. They wanted to go to the World Center in Switzerland. I didn't drive that way. That was quite some trip.
So your wife liked to get around for a Snow Hill girl.
For over there, and we went to Italy, Switzerland, main part, then to Italy, saw the Pope. One of them, the ladies that went with us was Catholic. She wanted to see the Pope. We saw him at the villa, and then back to France. At Paris, met one of her Cub Scouts that was in the Marines, then to Amsterdam, then back to Luxembourg, then back home. They took that trip 4 weeks, $500.
That's great. Now, tell me, do you think looking back that your wife really deserved this award?
Very much so.
You saw her work all those years, didn't you? Put all those hours in.
She did this with several bad health problems that couldn't be fixed.
Sometimes people like that, they just keep going. Well, I will congratulate you on behalf of the community, and I think that's quite an honor that your wife, we wish she was here today, but that your wife was bestowed upon by the Women's Commission.
And the rest of my children, we appreciate this happening to her.
Now, speaking of the rest of your children, who's standing over here on your right?
Well, that's the lady from up in Garrett County.
Garrett County?
Yeah.
She came all the way down here to the Eastern Shore.
She's the oldest of my children now, but I had a son that was older that was killed in a motorcycle accident in Hawaii. This is Janet Williams.
Janet Williams. Well, thank you, Mr. Dickerson, and again, congratulations on your wife's award. Janet Williams, all the way from Garrett County, welcome to the Eastern Shore. Quite an event to come down for.
Yes, it was very nice to be coming for this. Yeah.
Any interesting story about your mom?
I have lots of interesting stories, but you don't have the time, I'm sure.
How about one quickie?
Oh, I don't know.
How was she when she was raising you when you were like a teenager?
Well, I was in her first Girl Scout troop. So she started out with our troop, where ours was the first. And so that was back in the 60s. And
was she tougher on you because you were her daughter?
No, she wasn't. Absolutely not. No spoiling or anything. No, I was just one of the girls, just like all the rest of them.
Well, that's probably why she did so well. And who's over here on your right?
This is my aunt, my mom's sister, Ann Steininger.
Ann Steininger. Hi, Ann. Now, what's your relation to the woman that's gotten this nice award?
She's my sister.
She's your sister. So you knew a lot of stories. I bet it's hard that she's not here today.
Yes.
But if she was, she'd probably really be honored, and she probably would feel that she didn't deserve it, right?
Sure she would.
Isn't that the case? What do you remember most about her?
How much she wanted to help everyone. She was always there.
Even when she was younger, was she like that?
Yeah. And even when she didn't feel very good, she was still right in there doing all she could.
Well, it's nice to see that some of her life and work was recognized by the Worcester County women. Now, you have a nice-looking young man, Jonathan, I think, on your right. I mean, this guy's pretty sharply dressed. Tell us about him. You want to introduce him? Jonathan, you want to go right in? Why are you here, Jonathan?
What?
Why are you here? What's your relationship to this family?
Esther Lee was my grandmother.
She was your grandmother. Now, did you see her a lot when, you were a little younger than you are today?
I spent almost every weekend in Snow Hill with her doing stuff, and she took really good care of me.
Did a lot of her charitable work that she did, was it the type thing as a philosophy that you could see and she was encouraging you to do as you got older in life?
Yeah, absolutely. She always told me to help people where I could, take time out of my schedule to help someone in need. she did so much for me that it's unbelievable.
Well, that's something you can at least take with you as a memory, and you had some time with your grandmother, which is great that you had that opportunity to have that, and I think she'll be staying with you for the rest of your life, you think?
Yeah.
That's good. Thanks, Jonathan. And I'd like to thank the whole Dickerson family. We lost one, I see. Had to sit down. I understand that. We have one. Oh, who's this?
This is Christine Bounds Powell, and she is the one that spearheaded this project to have my mother nominated. She saw about the nominee process in the paper, and her first thought was, this is definitely for Miss D. And she really took things into her own hands and corralled everybody and emailed everybody and got the letters together. And without all her hard work, this wouldn't have taken place today.
Sounds like they appreciate that, Christine. What sort of was the germ that got this started in your mind?
When I read what they were looking for, Miss D was the first thing that came to my mind, and I just I didn't do this all by myself. I had a lot of help. My mother, Janice Bounds, helped, and Ruby Sadler, which also did a lot with the Girl Scouts, helped. So the three of us really, wasn't just me.
Well, it seemed from talking with the Dickerson family that you certainly came up with a worthwhile person for this award, and I commend you. I know you took some time, and I think Esther Lee probably be proud of you too that you're out here doing this work.
Yeah, she's looking down on us all smiling. I'm sure that, yeah.
Well, that's a great commentary on a woman that obviously dedicated a lot of her life to giving back to others. Esther Lee Dickerson, the Worcester County Women's Historical Person of the Year. One of the Worcester County Women's Leaders of Tomorrow that wasn't able to be here initially, but fortunately they spent a few minutes with us now, and it's Patricia Vreeland and her mom Dorothy. And Patricia, congratulations! You're the only high school student from Snow Hill. Is that correct?
Yes, that is.
Tell us a little bit about this award and what it meant to you.
It meant a lot to me. I mean, I don't know. It's just something that I've been hoping for, all the work that I do. And it's just good to finally be congratulated for it in such a powerful way.
Now, what kind of work, when you say all the work you do, tell us, our viewers, some of the things that you are involved in.
Well, I do a lot of volunteer work. I taught a dance class for the summer in the after-school academies, and I've co-taught a cooking class as well at the same time. And I just keep my grades up. I do a lot of work at home, and it's a lot to take in.
Now, what year are you in Snow Hill?
I'm a senior.
And what are your plans for the future?
I'm actually going off to culinary school to get a bachelor's in baking and pastry.
Oh, that's great. Now, what culinary school are you going to go to?
I've been accepted to a few of them, but the one I'm really hoping for is Culinary Institute of America, and that's in New York.
Well, that's great. So we'll kind of look for you someday, maybe on the front page of Food Magazine or whatever, huh?
Maybe.
Well, good, and congratulations again. And you've got your mom here now. Look, moms, I don't get many moms, Dorothy. It's Dorothy Freeland, and it's quite an honor to have your daughter selected for this, I'm sure, but I kind of have a feeling that you must have had something to do with it as well, raising her.
No, I can't say that I have. She's done this all on her own. I got to say, I've just supported her in whatever she wanted to do. It's all her.
I bet that support means a lot, though, doesn't it, Patricia?
Yeah, it does. It means more than I can imagine.
Well, that's great, and congratulations, I would say, to both of you. A lot to you, and good luck to you in culinary school, Patricia.
Thank you.
The Vreeland family, and nice to see them recognized here for a well-earned award by the Worcester County Women's History Luncheon. And the theme of the History Luncheon that the Worcester County women are putting on this year is Women in Arts. And we're here with one of the lovely people I happen to know, Mary Suplee. And Mary, we have behind us some arts which we can look at later, but tell us a little bit about your art and what you do.
Well, I design jewelry. It's primarily off the wall because I do very high design and absolutely love doing it. It's been something I've worked with for, I hate to tell you, 40 years.
That's a long time, Mary.
It's a long time. And it has literally been my salvation in many ways because as things happen in life and you become a little sad, this sort of expression really does help, and it has been wonderful for me to do.
And that's a good point. And Mary says when things happen in life, and I don't know if our viewers know, Mary has a pin on. Mary's a Gold Star mother, and unfortunately has had some tragedy in the family that she's had to deal with. And Mary, maybe you'd like to just briefly tell us about that.
Well, it was my son Danny, and we lost him in Afghanistan in 2006. And it changes all your life, really, and it changes your perspective about many things. And I learned a lot about our military that I never, ever thought I would know. And they are such wonderful, wonderful, dedicated people that I feel Danny gave me that understanding that had sort of gone over my head before.
And also Danny's brother Paul was in the military. He's maybe known, he used to be the chef at the yacht club in Ocean Pines.
And he was in the Marines, and still does the Semper Fi every time he sees another Marine. He's the Semper Fi.
Semper Fi, and how's that go? Oorah?
Oorah, yeah.
Oorah. I never get that right myself.
Can't do it right either.
Now, you mentioned to me you have some of your art here, and if I remember, if I can do this without making a big problem, this was one of your favorites. And tell us a little bit about how this is made.
Well, actually, I made it. It's in 4 pieces, and I made 2 separate necklaces that hang from, you can wear 2 different lengths. The coral piece
That's all coral.
This is all coral, is in 2 pieces, so you can wear the single large one and the dangle, or with or without the dangle. It's just probably can be worn in about 10 different ways, which is a challenge to the imagination.
Well,
a challenge to me.
It looks like it would be. It's certainly a challenge to me, and it's a beautiful necklace. Try to put that down carefully. Anything else you'd like to explain while we're here?
I don't know. I do a lot with the old Swarovski crystals. This is a piece made with what they call the polka dot beads, which are no longer available. And most of my pieces are made with old beads that cannot be replaced anymore. This is another one here. I called this one Good Morning because it's so bright and cheerful, but it's the last I can make out of the pink because these are the end of my beautiful pink Swarovski beads. So it's fun.
Well, it sounds like it's fun for you, Mary, but it looks like you have quite a talent. They're beautiful pieces. They're, I would have to say, certainly unique and worthwhile display. I commend you for your skill and your art and for showing over here. It was nice speaking with you.
Thank you very much. It's been wonderful to be here. And
Mary Suplee. It's nice to have her with us. I'm here with Mary Lee Horvath, and Mary Lee is the chairperson for the Worcester County Women's Commission History Luncheon. And Mary Lee, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about just what is the History Luncheon?
The History Luncheon is a national celebration of women throughout the whole United States for the month of March. They set about putting a theme to it every year, and the theme this year, which we're very excited about, is celebrating women artists and their vision. And this year we decided to do something a little different. The whole Women's History Luncheon is all about raising money for our McGuffey Summer Reading Program. So everything you see here today, all of the art, the raffle tickets, the silent auctions, even the sale of the tickets, the proceeds go to support all of our schools.
The quilt section. And since I'm really over my head in what happens here, I've enlisted Sue Colburn, who is the wife of former director Wally Colburn in Ocean Pines, to help me get through a little bit of explaining what's here in this quilt section. Now, Sue, give our viewers a little overview of what we're looking at.
Well, they have there were quilts and fiber art from the Julia Purnell Gallery, and also from the Ocean Pines Bells and Bows Book Club. And so over here with the Maryland fiber art is Joyce Frisk, and she has some quilts in red work, and she has some needlepoint pictures. And over here we have an Afghan embroidered with violets. Here we have
Now here is this is all Julia Purnell, and we come up to Sue's shortly.
Yes, this is Julia Purnell's Christmas tree skirt. Then this is my work.
We might as well highlight it since you're taking the time.
This is a crewel embroidered picture that took me 9 weeks to do.
9 weeks, whoa, Sue.
I know.
That's dedication.
And here is a Halloween quilt that I've done.
You just hold this up a little bit so you can get an idea at least of some of the embroidery.
But do you want us to hold it around, Joe? No, all right. Halloween quilt that won second place in the Nassawanga Quilt Show this past September. And then we have a hanky quilt.
That's the one hanging up here.
Done by Martha Wheeler, my cousin. So
how many hours would it take to do a quilt like that, Sue?
I think it probably took her a couple months to do that. And I know it took me 6 months to do the Halloween one.
So this is a lot of dedication, a lot of work.
Time, labor, and love goes into them. And then over here we have one of the Julia Purnell knitted Afghans and an Oriental quilt done by Ocean Pines, Bells and Bows.
Well, there's certainly a lot of impressive work here today, and I want to thank you for taking some time to explain to our viewers a little bit about quilts, because I was not going to be doing it on my own. Thank you, Sue.
Everyone get quilting.
Just to give you an idea of some of the broad diversity that's here at the Worcester County Commission for Women's History Luncheon, we just stopped by to see some of the art on display and give you an idea of the diversity. Here, I don't know, I call this a little bit contemporary, probably not quite correct. It's done by Mary Michelle Davis, called Beach Day. And down here, we have one that's called Green Hair Node. Now, they appear to me to be acrylics, but right over here, we go into some photography by Phyllis Mossmiller. And Phyllis has done a blue crab that she titled The Angry Crab. Below that, we have a beautiful piece of photography done by a Phyllis Mossmiller as well. And that looks to me like they are lilies, but it's obviously very pretty and framed very well as well. Down below, last but not least, we have artwork by Lynn Barr, and this is called Crystal Clear. It's a watercolor of flowers, and you can see that Lynn has quite the talent as well. So you can see we have everything from acrylics to watercolors to photography here at the History Luncheon, whose theme is Women in the Arts. And hope you enjoyed it. I mentioned today that at the Women's History Luncheon, the entertainment is being provided by the Stephen Decatur High School Quintet. And as you can see, you've got some pretty talented musicians here. I asked them if they're going to get a full-time day job, and they're kind of hoping maybe they get a job to make a little money. But quite some talent in our local young people here. Nice to see the Stephen Decatur High School Quintet. Enjoyed seeing a little introspective into the Worcester County Commission for Women's History Luncheon, and I want to thank Mrs. Cheatham for giving me my backdrop for this closing on a nice painting, and we hope you've enjoyed the show. And remember, take a look at these people's art when you see them out and about and congratulate them. They've done a fine job. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed looking at this history luncheon and getting a little better idea of what's going on. This is Jack Barnes for Focus on the Pines.